Hey, hi, hello, welcome to my channel Write with Cass, where I am currently vlogging and recording my process of writing my third fantasy novel, Project KJA. I'm so excited. I'm getting very close to the end of the first draft, so hopefully you guys can stick around for that. And once I finish that first draft, I'm going to analyze that writing process and the things that I learned, because I tried a whole bunch of new techniques. I want to look back and see what worked for me and what didn't. So I hope you guys stay around for that, because I have some very interesting video ideas planned for once I get this draft done. Okay, so it's July 2nd and I have a great update for you guys. I hit 109,000 words, like exact, unintentionally, with writing an impromptu scene that just kind of came up, and I added a bit of a dialogue to the end of Act 1 and rounding off that thread in the end of Act 3. So had a lot of fun with that, and we're gonna get back to where I'm at. And I know I said I wasn't gonna skip around for the climax part, and I didn't. This was kind of post in the resolution side of things. So I feel really great. I currently have 310 pages, which is so fun. And I want to say I'm about 80% done with this book. This has been what feels like a long time coming. So, and today's gonna be a bit like yesterday. I do still have some logistical things I need to get done for my non-writing things, and I have some paperwork that I need to fill out. I would love to keep writing, but I think I need to just kind of wrap up the writing session right now, and that's my first writing sprint of the day. And then I'll get back into this next chapter that I'm so excited to write out. It's Monday, July 7th, and I have a little bit of an update for you guys. So I'm still in Act 3 and I am working on getting to that big climactic moment, but right now I'm kind of in the pre-climax set of scenes, which is really exciting. So I have a lot of word counts to update you guys on. So I started today with 109,059 words. My first writing sprint was about 20 minutes. I want to say it was 20 minutes. I didn't look at the clock, but that's what it kind of felt like. And I added 525 words, which brought my total up to 109,584 words. That was great. I had like a bit of a break after that. And then I did a second writing sprint today, and that brought my total up to 111,309 words, which meant in between my first and second writing sprint, I added 1,725 words, which brings the total of words that I've written today up to 2,250 words, which is great. There's a lot of numbers there, sorry. I'm feeling really good. I tend to write, when I get to the battle or climax scenes, anything with a lot of action or a lot of tension and kind of any scene that has required some form of buildup, I tend to write those explosive scenes really quickly. And I feel like that's happening today, and I'm so excited because that means I'm getting so close to the end of this book. So let's see how much I can get done this week, and we'll see where I'm at. But for now, I feel like that's pretty great. I'm feeling really good. I want to keep going, but I wanted to hop in here and give you guys that update because I feel like 2,000 words is a great output for me in a day. And I want to say that that didn't used to be a norm for me. A norm would be, you know, a couple hundred words and you build upon that. And writing is very much a muscle. And the more you write consistently, the more words you will write in a day. And I've gotten to the point where I'm writing over 1,000 words a day, which is great, but I know I can write a lot and then maybe the next day I won't write as much. And that's okay. I have 2 point of view switches, and those are what I want to finish today. And that I think is where I'm going to stop, because I have a lot of YouTube work to do today, but I really want to finish those 2 scenes because I'm so excited and I'm feeling really pumped and the adrenaline is running. So that is what I'm gonna do, but I wanted to give you guys my midday word count update. So I finished my 4th writing sprint of the day, and it is 4:57, so I'm gonna give you guys the last writing update for today, which is I have ended at 114,389 words, which is crazy, which means I wrote, holy moly, I wrote 5,330 words today. I think that's my best amount of writing I've done in a day. That is really cool. Okay, yeah, that's definitely my best writing day I think I've ever had. And so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I wrote every scene that I wanted to today. I feel very exhilarated. Like that was so much fun. I don't think you know what? And I still feel like I could keep going, but I don't want to burn myself out creatively. And I know I want to be able to write tomorrow. So I think that's where I'm gonna stop. I got to a very good natural stopping point in the story. And I think that is where I'm gonna leave it. Sorry for the glasses reflection. My page count is also up. It's at 330. And I haven't formatted the pages to actually like fit a book, so the margins are still a normal Word document would be, so I know that page number will go up drastically whenever I get to format it for the first time, and I will just keep it like that until I get to the proofreading stages and I have finished the first rounds of all my edits that I want to do. Today took an unexpected turn. I ended up having an impromptu in-person interview, so I got around and I went and did that. Actually, before that call came in this morning, I ended up writing on my other project AFV that I've been working on. I'm drafting that book, and I ended up writing 1,374 words for Project AFV. I had kind of a moment of clarity how I wanted to rewrite a scene, and I just pretty much jotted down the dialogue. So there's a bunch of dialogue tags, and anytime I get an idea for a scene that involves a lot of dialogue, I will go and write the dialogue down, and then I will go back through and type the descriptions of everything because it flows really fast that way, for me at least, especially when I'm in a rush. And I do that because I know the characters well enough that I know what their actions would be according to what the dialogue is, that I know the tone of the scene. So sometimes when you have dialogue scenes come in and really heavy moments with a lot of talking, it's more important to get those phrases down that you want to use, because sometimes they just, you know, if you let the thoughts leave your brain, you can never really achieve that same level of banter that you're going for. So I did that, and I'm very proud of how that turned out, and I'm really excited to put that into the book on the next draft I do after I finish Project KJ. So that is my update for today. Okay, so last time I talked to you guys, I hadn't made any writing progress. Still the case. Yesterday I was busy. I had pretty sure I mentioned an impromptu interview that I had to run to, and it was kind of in the midday, so I got back and I ended up having to do like dishes and chores and laundry and that sort of thing because I wanted to clean the area while I processed, you know, the interview, all the information I got and everything. And then after that I sat down and worked on my other work stuff that I needed to get done. I actually worked on Project AFV yesterday really early in the morning before I knew I was going to go to an interview, back when I was like, oh, I'll just write this down and then I will write in KJ later. That wasn't the case. Now I've sat down to work on Project KJ, and I'm at the point in the story where characters are coming back and I don't remember their names, and I feel like this has been a recurring theme in this project. So I am currently researching in my own document, trying to find all the names that I did use so that I'm not confused when I'm drafting this book. And so that's just what I'm doing, and I'm writing them all down on paper for this character, which I have an online version, but I'm gonna have like a paper version just sitting next to me the whole time while I'm writing. That's all I'm working on right now, and then once I finish this, then I'm gonna jump back into writing. And I think what's really funny is when you sit down and you write out the name of every character you have in your book, as including the small little side characters, it gets to be a lot. It's really funny to me because my last book that I wrote, a ton of characters in that. So much so I've cut a lot out. And before I started writing Project KJ, I told myself, you have to limit your characters. That was like a rule I had for this book, was you have to limit the characters in this book. And I think I forgot that rule about a few months ago. I think it would be really funny once I'm done with this book and I read it for the next draft to just tally up how many characters I have. I think that'll be fun. Will they all stay? No. It was just funny. So that's all I'm doing right now, is just going back and writing down character names that I've already used. I need to make sure I bring back the right character. That's really all I'm doing. So I am working on the project, and I'm, while doing this, thinking about how I want to frame the next section I'm going to start writing. So I'm going to work on the in-between of that, the little in-between, and then the climax. So I'm working on that little in-between, just quick, calm breath, and then back into the big action stuff. So that is what I'm working on. I'm very excited. I had that really big writing day, which was so great, and I'm so excited. And I know I said, let's see how many words I can get done before Friday, but this is like my last day to crank out a lot of words for this project. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this like breath of fresh air, small little moment. I say small, it's gonna be a few words, you know, it's gonna be a lot of words, but I want to finish those scenes and really set up the climax climax, and then there's a few things I want to tweak in earlier. There was a small scene I wanted to add, like a small addition to a scene in Act 2. I just have to go find my notes on that. So that is kind of what I'm planning on writing. So after I get all the names, I'm gonna start writing, and I'm gonna let myself write for like an hour and a half. That way, for sure, I have written today. I guess we'll see on the word count how much we add. Since I'm so close to 115,000 words, I really want to hit that today. I think that would only be like 700-ish words, maybe a little less. And so that would be cool because I think I'm getting so close. And there is a moment in the resolution I need to go make notes on too. So there's just a few little things that I'm kind of have tweaked along the way, which is fine. I've had a lot of fun doing that. And then I don't know, we're getting really close to the end of this book. I feel like I'm gonna finish the first draft of this book pretty soon. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I'm mostly excited. I'm so determined to finish this, right? The last big word chunk that's probably gonna be added is in the climax. I've already written an epilogue, so that's done, and that's in this current word count. The only thing I really need to add is the resolution of this book, the very end of this book, and there are some missing moments from the beginning of Act 1 that I knew I was gonna go fill out. I have Act 1 in 2 pieces, so most of Act 1 is in this document, but there are some chapters and stuff that I pulled out and have been like reworking in a separate document because I just didn't want to keep, I kept reworking those scenes, so I didn't want to keep opening my big document. And I have multiple copies of the same chapter on this document, that's why, in my side chapters, so I didn't want to keep having duplicates of chapters in my main document. That's why I pulled them out. So whenever I get done writing the end of Act 3, I'll probably go and pick whichever set of those chapters is my favorite and then add them in. And it's mostly like the introduction and just a few things about like key information and trying to, foreshadow a lot of things correctly, and that kind of adjusts when the story itself adjusts, which is a draft 2 thing, and I'm aware, but I just kind of like to make a lot of notes, and I have changed the very opening of this book so many times, so that's why like the very first chapter is also over there, because I've reworked that chapter 7 times alone in that document, and so I will put all that stuff back in too whenever I get done writing Act 3, which has really been going really fast. Out of all the acts, Act 3 has been so fast, so I have a good feeling we're gonna get really close. I have a good feeling I'm getting really close, and it's making me very excited to keep going. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check in with you guys in a little bit when I've added some words. I'm out back and I have a little update for you guys. I wrote a little bit. I finished writing my writing sprint. I'm currently at 116,236 words, and I have 332 pages. I'm so excited where I'm at. I'll go inside so the camera's not shaky. Okay, so I'm inside. I gave my dog a little blanket rolled up treat, so if you hear anything, that's him. Well, I reached my goal today of breaking the 115, and so I'm happy with that. I ended up adding 1,847 words, which those were really fun to write. I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to take it after Monday because I wrote out all the chapters that I knew I wanted in there. So figuring out exactly like the direction I need to take it to take the story to get us where we needed to go, I wasn't quite sure, so I kind of rewrote the last chapter and put in more detail and fleshed it out a lot more than what I had it, and then I went on from there knowing exactly where I needed to take it. Ended up writing more of what I wrote today, so that was really cool, and I already know where I need to take the story next and what the next chapter is going to be, but I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to take a little bit of a writing break so I know what to work on tomorrow or Monday, because it's really hard for me to get writing hours in with everybody kind of around on the weekends. So it would be so cool getting to look back one day at all these moments I've had and all the milestones I've hit, because this is the project where I've recorded the most for, so, and it's been such a big struggle, and I know I've talked a little bit about that, so I won't get into that here, but being able to go back and look at all this when I'm so close to the end has like been so fun. I'm just so happy with the progress that I've made on this book in this year. I feel like this year, in the tail end of 2024, I was able to really just say, you know what, I'm not gonna let writer's block hit me so hard that it takes me out of the story for as long as it has in the past. I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna film myself, so I have to get it done. And this has been such a great motivator for me to get this book done and the first draft done. And I'm thrilled. I'm so happy. And now I have to go do other things. That's okay. I got my writing in for the day. I'm happy. I'll check in with you guys later. So I didn't get to update you guys about last Friday, and I didn't add that many words. I wrote a conversation, like just a dialogue conversation. I only added 166 words, which brings my total up to 116,402 words, which is still progress, so I'm not mad about it. And I got to write a really fun conversation down. So given that it's Sunday and I didn't write yesterday, let's add to it while I have a little bit of time. Crashed iMovie so many times today, so maybe I'll be able to upload this video today, and it should be the 20,000 words while moving video, and then I have some more after this that I need to edit for Thursday, which I haven't even started because my computer cannot handle one iMovie's update at one time. As far as writing goes, I did write Sunday and I did update my word count. My updated word count is 116,946 words. So I went back and edited that conversation of dialogue, and I went back and filled it out. It was a rather long conversation, and there was some more stuff that I added to that chapter, so I ended up adding 544 words. So maybe today I can reach 117,000, but I need iMovie to stop crashing out on me because this is the 4th time, and I'm kind of nervous to upload this video, and start the uploading process of this video because it is October to December worth of footage from last year. So we'll see if my laptop can handle it. Okay, I'll take these off. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was a labor of love, and ooh, what a time that was. I enjoyed editing that vlog. That was a fun look back to the end of my 2024. Hopefully it'll be out and it didn't completely crash my computer so that I can get to editing this footage. While my past video is exporting from iMovies to my document, I guess I figured I would have some time to update you guys. I always want to wear my glasses, but I know they're so reflective, so I'll take them off. So it's Monday the 14th. I did get some words in. I added the 544 words we talked about. I am finishing the chapter that I'm on, a ways away from starting the very intense climax of this book. I really should start a excited word counter in my videos. I am thrilled to be starting this section of the book because this is the last big section before I get to the end of this draft. It is in sight. That is my short, very quick update. I pretty much have this chapter. Then I'm going to hit the ground running. I have a few logistic things I need to get to today, so YouTube and some Fiverr stuff, and starting the download process for my Thursday video for this week. Hopefully a rough edit of that. So once this starts to upload and then I get it into YouTube where it starts to do its thing, I'm gonna write during that process. But until then, I'm just gonna let iMovies export and do its thing. I'm convinced that this week is just not my week, and I'm finding that this is a very good hour to film. I have been uploading this YouTube video since yesterday at, let's just say 2 p.m. is probably a little bit before. It's only at 34%, and it's the next day, and it's 5:57 p.m. It's only 37 minutes long. So I've been waiting on that, but I have started to edit the next video that is supposed to go up on Thursday, but this one's just gonna go up on Thursday because we'll see if it loads. At this rate, I don't know. Might be next week. But as far as that, I don't really have any writing updates for you guys. I've had I'll just take these off. I will have blurry vision for you guys. I have not written much. I have not edited much. I've pretty much been working on YouTube and job stuff and Fiverr things. So I've pretty much not written anything, which is fine. I miss it though. I will say once this YouTube video goes up, I'm just gonna post it straight away. I think we'll see how that goes because I'm trying to post more regularly. The video that would have been out was me hitting 100,000 words, and then I have another one, so I have 2 more ready to just edit, and then this one. I haven't really made any this is my plans for this month. because right now my life is kind of chaotic, so I'm just going with the flow. And I have decided to not just set major word goals for this book because that's not obtainable anymore for this project. I am setting short goals. I don't remember what the last word count was that I checked in with. Probably 116,000 something, and that is currently where I'm at. If that's true, then I'm around 4,000 words away from 120, and my hypothesis is that this book is going to end up being around 140,000 words, which is relatively good. That is not as much as I wrote for my last project, so I'm actually okay with that. But for now, I will get back to it. I just want to give you guys, it's Tuesday. I haven't updated you guys for a little bit, so I thought I'd give you an update, even though it's not really a writing update. It's more of a YouTube is slow today and yesterday, and I am working on it very slowly but surely. I'm working on it, and I will be writing tomorrow for sure. I'm not letting myself get out of that, so tomorrow there will be words. There will be an update. It is July 16th, and I have a bit of an update for you guys. I finished all my calm before the storm moments, so I really got everything done that I needed to before the big climax. So that's exciting. I worked on my word count, and I did achieve my goal of getting to the next 1,000 words. So I did 2 writing sprints, and I started off at 116,946 words, and by the end of the first writing sprint, I got to 117,343 words. So I added 397 words. Not that much. It was kind of finishing up the end of a chapter that I had previously worked on the last time I wrote. And then my second writing sprint got me up to 118,224 words, which from writing sprint 1 to 2, I added another 881 words. So overall, I wrote 1,278 words, which is where I'm stopping today. I will say I'm pretty happy with what was written. I felt like I didn't get into a good flow at any point today. I just kind of wrote down what I knew I needed to get out, and it was just fine. So it's kind of one of those, I'm glad the words are on the page. I'll go back and fix the flow of the words later. For now, I'm just glad they're done. I'm going to stop writing for today. I'm feeling a little creatively fatigued, so I think I'm just gonna stop there, and I'll think about the scenes that I want to work on tomorrow, which I went ahead and I didn't include this in the word count, but I already wrote out what needs to be written down next. That way, when I open my document tomorrow, I am reminded of, oh yeah, that's right, this is where we're headed, this is what I need to write down, which has been a great little trick into getting into the writing mode a little easier, is leaving something on the page to come back to. For now, that's what I'm going to do. Speaking of page, I brought my page count up to 336 pages. Since I'm feeling a little creatively drained, I'm not pushing myself, and since it's been a few days since I've written, I feel kind of that drawl of creative burnout a little bit, so I'm going to take it easy, and I'm not going to force myself to do any more writing today, since it's, I guess, been 4 days since I've written, which is fine. So as far as word count goals, my next goal, word count wise, to get to is 120,000 words. Since I'm at 118, that feels rather doable. Usually when I'm in a good flow, my average word counts are around 2,000 words, so I'm not going to push anything, but I'm also not going to just not write. I'm going to try to write for the rest of the week, at least once every day. I know for sure I probably won't write anymore tonight, which I'm totally fine with. I am feeling a little tired, and it's just been, yesterday was a long day. I'm kind of just a little drained from that. As far as everything else, I need to work on some YouTube stuff, so I think that's what I'll be working on for the remainder of my time, and I'm going to start dinner, so just stuff like that. If I'm being honest, I'm a little nervous to write this next section of the book. Part of this fatigue is coming from, because it's not like burnout or writer's block, it's just I'm a little tired of this project, and I'm a little nervous to write this moment that I know I've been working towards for years and building the story to, and so now that I'm here, I'm excited, but I'm also filled with all this nervous energy energy, so hopefully I'll be fine. I have some side projects that I'm thinking about a lot, so if it gets so bad to the point of I'm sitting down at this and I'm looking at my computer screen, then I might just switch projects and do like a 30-minute writing sprint on Project LD or AFV, we'll see. But tomorrow, no matter what, I am writing. Same with Friday, no matter what, I am writing, no matter how little or how much. It's not that I'm trying to write every day, but it's because I didn't write yesterday or Tuesday that makes me want to make sure that I write Thursday and Friday as a way of I'm at least trying to write 3 days a week in terms of Monday through Friday. I would like to make it 4, but I'm going to start with 3. I got to build up the writing muscle again, which is fun, but it's also annoying because, you know, you go through these really big highs of writing and then you crash a little bit and then it's like you got to build back up, and it's just a cycle. And I'm currently I'm not writing as much as I'm used to, and I think it's because I am nervous, but I'm also getting to the end, so I'm kind of slowing down a little bit, which usually I pick up, and I think I'm just trying to get it right, which I need to really knock that perfectionism out of my head in this draft because I know I'm not going to get it right on the first try, nor do I want to, because I want to be able to go in and revise and make the story better on revisions. I don't want it to be a perfect book right off the bat, because then you've just lost all the fun of getting to explore the story in a different kind of way in the drafting stages. I just need to take the pressure off myself. That self-imposed pressure, right? And I just keep telling myself that even if it's not your best work, it's still something. I think for now, y'all are gonna hear from me tomorrow, and I will, no matter what, I will write something somewhere. Okay, so it's the next day and I currently have 118,278 words, which is great. My page count is 336 pages. Same thing, still have those margins pretty slim, pretty standard, as to not have to scroll through so many pages when I want to jump around. It will be fixed. It'll be changed eventually. I'm gonna get through the first draft first before I change the margins, and then we can see what the actual page count is. However, I told myself I was going to write today, and I didn't matter when, didn't matter what, I had to write it down. So I have my outline right here, and I planned what I was going to write yesterday, and I'm still nervous, still fighting the writing nerves a little bit, but I'm also excited. I think this is going to be a good chapter. I also realized something, so when I was going through my outline, I was taking some notes down and I was examining one small detail. Okay, it's not small, it's like a medium-sized detail that plays into the lore a little bit. And I was looking at that and I was trying to decide if I change it to what I have confirmed that I'm going to change it to, what would need to be changed, what would be the impact, and I'm going to change it to keep the suspense building, and I'm excited about that change, and I've already made a note about it, so draft 2 comes around, I will start making that change. So I'm not stressing about it, and I'm just gonna go continue on. As far as the rest of the day, I've been working on YouTube stuff. My iMovie does not like take quick commands, it shuts down, so it was a long fight with iMovie today, but I feel like I got a lot of stuff done. I got the video done, so the one I'll release before this one, so that's exciting. Let's keep going with this first act. I tend to tell you guys how I'm doing by word count and how far along I'm in word count, and that's great. But y'all never know really where I'm at. So I'm in my 3rd act, and I would say I'm about 10% done with my 3rd act, which is great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try telling you guys a rough ball estimate in percentage wise where I think I'm at. So for the 3rd act, I would say I'm about 10% done. Overall, I would probably say I'm 92% done, which is a crazy realization when I step back and kind of look at the project as a whole instead of just in its section, and that makes me a very happy writer. So I will keep going, I will stop stalling, and I will write some, and hopefully I'll be able to get my YouTube stuff situated, because I did have one video that will not upload, and I was very sad because it's my longest video to date. It's 37 minutes, but it's one of my favorites, so I was really hoping it would work. Hopefully going forward I'm not doing as big chunks of months to have to squish down into a video. Hopefully it's shorter sections of my life, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to writing. I'll give you guys an update. I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. 4:57 p.m. and I just finished 2 writing sprints. I made it to 120 words. So I added 20,000 words within from June 5th. June 5th was when I hit 100,000 words. To now, the 17th of July. That's so cool. Okay, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 days. It took me 25 days to hit another 20,000 words. That feels like a record to me, maybe. That is crazy. Okay, so my first writing sprint, I got to 119,652 words, which I added 1,428 words. My second writing sprint got me up to my day's total of 120,199 words. So I added 547 words, which brought my total addition of words to 1,975. My current page count is also 340 pages. I feel so much better now. I did not want to write today, if I'm being honest. I really did not feel like writing. After all the technical YouTube difficulties, now that that's done and has happened, that feels really good. I'm really happy with the words that I added. I'm really happy with the dialogue of today, and I'm really happy with how I set the scenes. Especially there were 2. I tend to write a lot of dialogue because that's what I like in stories, but I was setting the scene because we're in a new territory up, and I loved getting to do that. That was so fun. I wasn't quite sure which of the 2 ways I was gonna go, setting wise and look wise of the area, but landing on and building that up on the page was so much fun. So I'm glad I got to do that, and I stopped at a very exciting point so that tomorrow when I come back I will be so excited to like jump into it. For now, I'm going to leave us off there. So if you stayed to the end of this video where I have started Act 3 and I'm dealing with some creative burnout, but you know what, I'm feeling that burnout right now in this moment has faded, and I am feeling nothing but excitement. So maybe we got through, maybe it was just, you know, the start of this year and feeling so done with this book and just wanting to be done. But now I'm getting into another part of it where I'm just so excited to be writing this project and having this project be mine and getting so close to the end. I'm so thrilled to be this close to the end. So I'm hoping that I can just really crank out the end, but I'm not putting pressure on myself to hit 5,000 words a day. But I think I'm just gonna try to keep it easy and keep the pressure off myself, because I don't want to psych myself out being so close to the end, especially writing such big moments. I just want to have fun with it on this draft, and then I can get into the nitty-gritty of editing after. This is drafting. Drafting is fun. Editing is fun, but in different ways. Drafting is fun because you're actually getting to write big chunks of your story. So I'm gonna enjoy this moment, and I'm really gonna try to listen to myself when I'm feeling burnt out creatively, and I'm going to try to work through it the best I can. Thank you for watching this video until the end and watching me write the first part of Act 3 and getting so close to the end. Who knows? Maybe the next video is me probably not finishing the book, but we're gonna get really close. So thank you all. Like and subscribe, follow for more. This is Bandit, this is my dog. Give him a like. Like this video if you got to see my dog, because he's cute and he really wants to go outside and he's giving me those looks. So that's what I'm gonna go do. And I hope you guys will follow along. Let me know how your projects are going, what stage are you in. I hope you're having fun drafting. Remember, this is supposed to be fun. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!